Okay, so good morning everyone.
Good morning.
I feel very grateful for being able to stand here before you and thank those people who are responsible for our growth. And words are not enough to thank them. Uh, this small sacrifice that, because I'm very shy, but I hope you bear with me. But because of my great gratitude, I'll bear it all. So, we used to be in a remote place and just be committed with what we are doing. We never know that this would be part of that. So, we are from the Hilasio Ayason Foundation. Yes, the applicant already introduced us to you. We are located in a remote southern part of Oriental Mindoro, founded in 2001, so we are 14 years now. We are built by a multi-sectoral group who are concerned how to alleviate poverty in our community. The multi-sectoral group comes from the NGO, the local government, the academic, cooperative, clergy. We are a convergence group of committed persons who really just want to help the people there. So we we are a pioneering institution because we started in my former NGO in IDS. I worked for 17 years. We used to implement rural integrated development program. So we are already familiar with that. And then we came across this family prime school concept and we integrated it into our work. So that's how it was born. So this pioneering rural development approach, which involves youth community educational development that integrates different aspects of rural development, which are the economic, social, and environmental concerns. So we believe that integrated development is one that is sustainable. So we have the following components: the integral youth formation for high school students, and we interweave the social enterprise, the advocacy for sustainable agriculture and environmental protection, and natural health care system. So when we started 14 years ago, our lack of material resources, just like when you are pioneering and you had no money but just big dreams, it's really hard. But our lack of material resources was complemented by the strong desire to fulfill our vision of creating sustainable communities. Thanks, Jonas, for helping us craft that during our strategic planning. It was an arduous struggle, but thanks so much to those who trusted us and kept us company, particularly the concept, the house training, and also the PNBSCA for being patient in following us up with the requirements and supporting us through. So we cannot forget that. So in 2001, there were only 3 teachers, 3 local volunteers, and we were just squatting. There's not yet that building in that 3 hectare. We were just squatting in a pastoral center. And after 4 years, we were able to acquire the 3 hectare land for our campus and started to build 3 big buildings. And now we have a huge covered court in the making. So all in all, we have an aggregate of 1,500 individuals, youth, women, and farmers in the 4 towns of Southern Oriental Mindoro whom we are working with. At first, we have only 15 enrollees, and now we have 133 students. The nature of this family prime school is because it's more intensive. It's not the number, but the quality. So we have this approach of more focused attention to students. So that's it: integral information, social enterprise, sustainable agriculture and environment, and natural health care. Okay. So how we grew with the AVID, with the Australian volunteers. So our growth is synonymous with the presence of our Australian volunteers. for 7 years. So we started in 2001, and it was really very hard. So we almost died. Actually, we almost died, but then with this strong determination, we still pursued, because in rural communities, those who have more accomplishments, or those who have graduated with honors or with more capabilities, they tend to go out of the community. That's the sad thing. And those, I don't say that it's 100% true, but part of it. Those who remain, they need a lot of inputs so that they can be capable to do the work that is needed in developing the community. And the others who remain, who are capable, are the, what do you call, the martyrs. So, two people present there. So, we were looking for help in the community, but it's not enough. So we were groping to survive. And I look, based on our experience with the past volunteers in my former NGO, I sought for counterpart-friendly volunteer organization. Because in other volunteer-sending organizations, they have, we cannot afford their cash counterpart. So we're lucky to have this Australian volunteer. And in 2008, our partnership began. So our first volunteer was Dennis Alegre. He helped initiate the development of our environmental education center and the documentation of our agriculture subjects. He was very good in conceptualizing, in taking form of our dreams, how things can be done better, his foresight. And then later, he was instrumental in deepening the commitment of the succeeding volunteers. He was able to shorten the adjustment period because he's very patient in entertaining them. Even before they come to the Philippines, he was entertaining them, cooking Filipino food, appreciating Filipino culture from his own pocket, and then orienting them. So when they come here to the Philippines, there's more work than adjustment. So it really helped a lot. So unfortunately, he met an accident, he fell. But I remember when he was on the table going to going to the emergency room, he was really struggling for life, but he was still uttering the family farm school, please, can the big amount that will be put for hospitalization of me be part of supporting family farm school? So we were really touched by how he was so concerned about us. And I think it's because he saw how we struggled. He saw how sincere we were. We just lacked money and the capability. So that's where the AVID came in. So you see, 50% of our life was spent struggling to survive. And then when we availed of this Australian volunteer program, the next half, the 7 years, the development was hastened. So we were capacitated, we were uplifted. Before we felt this, we almost fell into self-pity because we were just doing our work there, we were sincere, but how can we improve? How can we be sustainable? So imagine the pain, we were hoping, but sometimes we were tempted to be hopeless. So that's where we were then. So the development process significantly was catalyzed with the presence of the AVID. And then came after Dennis came Stuart. So the experience with Dennis paved the way to develop the next assignment that will help us to another level of development. So Stuart was responsible for the communication strategies improvement. He was responsible for having installed the internet access equipment. the development of our brochure and the first deaf care newsletter, which were very crucial in the next phase of our growth process. So we were helped how to communicate what we do and get support. So the okay. The next volunteer was Emily McWalter, and she helped in completing the Environmental Education Center Master Plan and installed the waste management system and established the solar project of social enterprise. The municipal government of Rojas did an exposure visit to our school, and after that they started their solid waste management program, and now it is growing. And the DENR, Department of Environment and Natural Resources, they visited us also, and they said it's the only facility for the MRF that's functioning that he saw in our community, maybe in Southern Oriental Mindoro. So after Emily, it's Hazel. Hazel was the longest assignment period in our organization, and she really did very significant help towards our sustainability. So she helped me develop major proposals as well as minor ones, and it's very important to to package the proposal so that it will be approved. Because if the packaging it's not enough that we have sincere and heart and committed, we have high dedication, but we also need to package it so that it will be supported and it will be translated to help to the communities. So Hazel has been very instrumental in that. So she also helped in strengthening the board. She saw the need for that, and she was very efficient in doing her task, even in not counting the hours, even in the week until late night, and even in weekends. So next was Mr. Bongso Peña, and he helped the organic farm be more developed, the biodiversity collection, and then followed by Lina, who improved management strategy. People are not available, no? Those people that I need. So Dante is also returning with repeat assignment this coming March, and said our volunteers, the way I see it, they really felt they are doing something. They are being able to help because they see the growth. So when Jonas comes to us during monitoring visit, he would say, "Oh, there are new things again, new structures or something being developed again." So we are moving upward. So the process of refining concepts, the social marketing, and the refinement of our advocacy, making it more obvious to supporters, and then the bigger level, the proposals and systematization of information management, refinement and updating of our tools, and gauging us towards sustainability, the development of our income-generating projects, creating impact in our focus on sustainable enterprise and ecology, and the economic upliftment of our target beneficiaries. So the value-adding factor or contribution of the Australian volunteers is really very instrumental in how we are coming towards sustainability now. So from survival stage to going to sustainability is really a big accomplishment for us and a big hope in our community. So laying down the foundations for sustainability through provision of expertise that are not accessible to the GIY FFS by way of funds or availability in the locality. So Yeah, the internet access, the development of communication materials, uh, which was started by Stu. So before we had to go to town and travel for more than an hour, excluding the waiting for the tricycle to be full, only to discover after 2 or 3 days that when we come back, the email sending was failure. And it has been very instrumental in communicating with the important contacts, linkage work, research for various needs like funding and curriculum upgrading and compliance to the different requirements of funders and other agencies. So the development of the, okay, that's what Emily did. That's the 3-hectare compound of the school, and that's the development plan. So before we just do what we have to do, but due to her presence, so we were able to make it systematic and sustainable. So, yes, that was Hazel with the board. And carrying the load an extra mile. So having ABID really has been a crucial help in providing solutions to gaps in skills and capacitating the school, and thus enabling us to keep going. So we shall remember ABID for their passion for quality work and service, for their solidarity building and moral boosting, their deep concern for the upliftment of the people we serve, and the lasting friendship, the enabling friendship. So volunteers have clearly demonstrated what money cannot buy, showing not just in words but in hard work, living with the people. There's a different consciousness being developed, one of hope, one of freedom, one of growth, and it's very powerful. I love those long hours even way into the night, and when we talk about our dreams of a better world, I feel strengthened, being reminded by this favorite inspiring quote by great sociologist Margaret Mead. Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has. Thank you. Thank you.